Hello and lots of greetings and welcome to this channel. In case you've not subscribed, please do, and also remember to press the bell so that whenever I upload a video, you don't miss out. Thank you once again, and today it's just a quick one. I want us to talk briefly about allergy. Now, this is a very interesting topic, and there are lots of occasions where we find ourselves in situations that sometimes we don't even realize that it's an allergy. Now, we have people who are allergic to different things. There are people who are allergic to foods. There are people who are allergic to pollen. There are people who are also allergic to medicaments or medicine. And sometimes we don't get to know what exactly we are allergic to. Now, there are things that are important that we have to do. One thing is you can also go to your doctor and have an allergy test so that you get to understand what exactly is happening. But there are cases when we know what exactly we are allergic to. Now, why am I talking about this? It's because I've realized that there are so many people who are taking this topic for granted. Now, I'm very sensitive and allergic to quite a number of things, foods and also to medicine, in particular medicine with sulfur and even certain antibiotics. And the other day, I read an article where it was speaking about somebody who is allergic to sulfur, and the person took some medicine which ended up in a reaction on the skin. And after that reaction, the person ended up in hospital. But it didn't stop there because the treatment went on, but the reaction also took a while. And I think it's because also sometimes we take too long to check a doctor because we want to try our own kind of quacking on ourselves or our own self medication, and therefore sometimes we take a while because we think we know or we can guess with our instinct, particularly the African instinct. We use a lot of it to try and do a lot of things. So sometimes we take a while and we try to use all the things that we know, like this one very common tree that is used particularly in the area where I come from. It is said to treat 40 different diseases, and it is called Marubaine. So these are some of the reasons why sometimes we take a while. And I think this is also the thing that happened to this particular person who ended up eventually, after 6 months of continuous treatment, the rashes on the skin disappeared or they were healed, but the person ended up getting blind. Now, these are very serious reactions and they happen from time to time. And I've also found myself in a situation where I was prescribed some antibiotic when I had a flu. And, sometimes the doctors say, okay, we will give you an antibiotic to help you get well faster. So I was given this antibiotic, and what happened? I reacted very seriously to it. Of course, I took very quick steps when I realized that I had this reaction. My skin turned black, and then I had these swellings like you are burnt. So under the skin, there was this water hanging on the skin, like when somebody's burnt with water or burnt with a fire. And it was so serious that eventually the whole skin peeled off on the whole body. I was like somebody who's burned, and it was really serious. It was so serious. And when I was in the hospital, the doctors told me 90% of people who get this form of allergy, they don't make it, because by the time you realize this kind of reaction on the skin, the internal organs are also affected. So I stayed in hospital for quite a while, and they had to try and keep on checking with the internal organs. And of course, I was treated like somebody who's burnt because I could not even wear clothes. They had to put this asbestos that they normally put for people who are burnt, so that the bed sheet or the clothes don't stick on your body. So they had to cut some kind of something I could wear, cut off a small piece where there was a head, my head could pass through, and then the rest hangs on my body because I could not wear clothes. I was literally like somebody who's burnt, and it affected even my tongue. It affected every part of my body. I lost the nails and all that, even the skin under the hair. So you can imagine how serious that is. So I would just say I was among the few lucky people in such situations. And I've also seen a number of people who've also reacted to this particular medicine, but also had this more or less a same kind of a reaction. So why is it important to know some of these things? It is important to really pay attention, understand your body, and when you realize that you are allergic to certain things, please avoid them. I would say that is the best thing you can do. avoid them, because prevention is better than cure. Sometimes you think, I can go to the hospital, I have an insurance. By the time you get to the hospital, sometimes even when we get to the hospitals, it takes so long before we are attended to. Because of the bureaucracy in the hospital or the situation in the hospital. We've lost a number of people in certain cases. So I would say prevention is better than cure. Try to avoid this kind of things. If you know that you're allergic to something, have an allergy card. Let your doctor write for you an allergy card. And in many cases, they will do an allergy test for you also and write you a card so that every time you go to a hospital or you visit a doctor, please make sure you present this and always have it with you wherever you are, because you never know what can happen. You could be out there and something happens and you need to go to the doctor and you don't have this card with you, and you might be in a situation where you're not able to speak or to express yourself, so you're not able to tell anybody that you're not in a position to take certain kind of medicine. So please have this card with you. I always walk with mine in my purse so that in case of anything, I always can present it to any doctor, because if you have your usual doctor, they have your history. But when you don't have your usual doctor, because there are sometimes when you're in a certain area, you go to a different doctor, and therefore they don't have your record, so they might not know that you are allergic to a particular kind of medicine or a group of medicine, because they will check the main composition of this medicine and try to see which one out of this you could be reacting to. And secondly, I want to talk about food. This is a very common thing that happens, particularly in our society, the African society. There's cases where you realize that you cannot eat something. And in many cases, I've also experienced that you're being told, just eat it, and then your body will get used to it and you will no longer react. There are people who've gone through with it and it has gone well. And like we have this common kind of cooking style where sometimes we mix certain foods and maybe it's some kind of vegetable together with meat or with some chicken or with some fish or something like that. So this mixture, sometimes you find when it has been cooked, maybe you're visiting somewhere and they've cooked, something like that. And then you tell them, I'm allergic to meat, for example. And you'll be told, you know what you can do? You can pick out the pieces of meat and then eat the vegetables. I don't know where the logic is in this, and I don't know why people come up with this, because that food has been cooked together. There are parts of the meat that has also mixed into the vegetable in the gravy, and even the gravy is already mixed, so there is still that risk. Picking out the meat does not save you. I don't know why people imagine that when you pick out the meat and you don't eat the meat and you only eat the vegetables, or you will not be able to react. Do not play along in such games. They are dangerous. You are the person who's going to suffer for it. And if you know that you do not eat certain food, please do not try to encourage yourself, or do not let anybody to talk you into eating it, believing that you are going to get used to it and your body is not going to react. Some of the reactions are serious. You could lose your life. You could even be at a very big risk that you don't know even where to start. So that is my message today, and I'm just trying to please do not take that risk. It is too costly. It is too expensive. It's a risk too high. And in case you know anybody within your family, within your friend Christ, that is also having an allergy problem, please pay attention to them. It is important. Let them know that it is a very serious thing and it is not something to joke around with. Do not take it for granted. Don't think that you're going to get used to it. If you are lucky, yes, but in many cases, the risk is too high. Otherwise, thank you so much for keeping it here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in my next video. Remember, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, and also put the notification so that whenever I put a video or I upload a video, you're among the first people to watch. Thank you so much once again, and I love you all very much. Bye bye, and until next time.